Hey, this is Katie from Crafting Ruby Dreams, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about planners, goal setting, writing, publishing, and getting right with my finances. This is my first weekly vlog after 2 very unintentional weeks off due to some technical issues with the editing program that I was using. Turns out that even maxing out an iPhone 12 Pro to 512 gigabytes does not mean you can endlessly film, edit, and export videos to it. For about 2 months, I hit the limit. Yay. So, what my weekly vlogs are, I show you what I do with goal setting in my MäksēLife planner. I run you through my weekly intentions and then show you how I go about trying to achieve those action items and my long-term goals over the course of the week. And at the end of the week, I show you the memory plan that I do in the weekly plan layout of the MäksēLife planner. So I hope you enjoy this journey with me, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you later. So if you're new to the channel, this is my MäksēLife goal setting system and weekly planner. I really enjoy this, and I am absolutely loving how this works. My secondary systems are still in work, but overall, this system is working well for me and the way that I use it. So let me show you this week's intentions. All right, so Sierra, friend who created this goal setting system and planner, has 8 areas of life to focus on. And so I tried to be cognizant of how I was loading up my time and tried not to overwhelm myself. I have a couple of things that are I knew were going to be task heavy for this week, so I was okay with those. But because I knew those areas were going to be task heavy, I wanted to counterbalance them by not overloading myself with other areas of my life. So for the personal section, my focus statement is create joy, and so I want to read for 15 minutes at least 3 times a week. I am currently reading 1 book, and so I started off like kind of randomly picking books from my advanced reader copy collection that is years old and has many because of being a librarian and having access to digital advanced reader copies. So I had much to choose from, but I recently got this 1 advanced reader copy from an author who I've greatly enjoyed before, and so I read that last week for one of my 15-minute sessions and enjoyed it enough to want to read it for my next session. So what I've started doing with that, since I'm still enjoying reading it, I am adjusting this 15 minutes from 3 times a week to reading at least 1 chapter in a sitting 3 times a week. So we will see. For as long as that takes me through the book, I'll stick with that plan. But overall, the goal is 15 minutes at least 3 times a week, and it does take me about 15 minutes to read a chapter. And if it feels shorter because it's a short chapter, then I'll read the next chapter too. For the fun and recreation section, I want my focus statement is create wonder, and so I want to spend at least 1 night not working. And I also want to watch 1 episode of Ted Lasso because I'm really enjoying that. And I'll get into this particular point a little later on in this vlog. For work and learning, create growth is my focus statement, and I wanted to edit and upload my vlog for last week. So I'm going to have a moment. When I'm filming this is Tuesday night. I knew Sunday, after I'd already written all this out, and it was actually late Sunday night, I had been working on editing the video that was supposed to go up the Tuesday before this particular vlog. And I ran into the same issues that I had with the vlog the previous week, in that I couldn't use iMovie. go back in my videos and you'll see my issues with that. So I decided after writing this out to take the week off from trying to edit, because I knew that even if I found a solution, the amount of time it would take me to edit the vlog, even though it was not as filled with video, even though it wasn't as packed of a vlog as the previous week had been, just because of my mood due to the issues with the previous vlog. I know. I knew that would be smart for me to just take a week off from trying to post a vlog. So this is going to get a big old X when I'm done filming this. The other thing I want to do is develop a March content plan, and I've already kind of got one for the YouTube channel. So I basically wanted, this is for the Instagram. I want to edit and upload video for March 2nd, which I did tonight. So yay, I have found at least a temporary editing solution. I want to do Duolingo every day, and I want to film the content planner unboxing because my second order finally shipped. Well, I received the shipping notice last Wednesday, and then it just said waiting for pickup, waiting for pickup, waiting for pickup, and it finally got picked up today, and it's shipping to DC. So this is not happening once again. As you saw, my first order came through fine to Chicago. My second order, despite me notifying them in the same email and me forwarding the confirmation for the second order with saying, hey, by the way, can you change my shipping address for this order as well as my previous order, which was order number blah, 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 blah. So they changed the address for the first order, but not the second order. So my second order is going to DC, where I will not be able to get it until sometime next month in March, and you're seeing this in March, because that's when I will be going back to DC to deal with my apartment. So at least it won't be sitting long. I'm just frustrated that it didn't work out the way I wanted to. So who knows when I will do an unboxing video. We'll see, if ever. I'd very much like to, but just the frustration of the second order. So this is going to DC, and I will see about doing an unboxing video of some kind in the future. It may not be an unboxing, but I will have something for you in the future. Family and relationships. My focus statement is create memories, and so I'm going to text a group of friends. I want to set up a March meeting with another friend and set up a meeting with another friend. And so this particular meeting is already set, so I get to check that off, and I still need to work on these others, in which I've got time. For health and wellness, create resilience is my focus statement, and I want to continue with therapy, and that will be happening, as you'll be seeing in an upcoming clip. I also want to continue drinking a minimum of 60 ounces of water every day. I'm pretty good in actually more like 80 ounces, but 60 ounces is something that I can easily for sure achieve, and I just want to keep up the positive momentum. For spiritual and personal development, my focus statement is create exploration, and I want to develop an ideal goal schedule for the week. Watch for an upcoming clip. So for finance, my focus statement is create abundance, and my usuals of having a spending limit for the week and reconciling my spending log and paying my credit cards. But these two other things are the additions, and I want to begin doing my tax prep. I realize I just have to start doing stuff using my dad's laptop and accessing various things. Thankfully, I can easily do a lot of my prep using my dad's laptop because of, thankfully, saving things to both Dropbox and iCloud, so I have access to all of those files. And then I also want to develop a moving budget because that is something that is going to happen this year. And so I'm just trying to work in my head how much money I need for various things. For physical environment, my focus statement is create peace. And so I want to get a quote from a storage company in DC. They have some services that are interesting to me in that they'll provide moving storage bins containers, and I need to get some more details as to how they operate and about how much things would cost. And then I just want to tidy up my basement here in Chicago. No, it's not my basement, it's my parents' basement, but it's where I live for now, so it's my basement. We'll see you with how I go about accomplishing these weekly intentions. Drop any questions in the comments below, and see you in a bit. Okay, so it is Tuesday night, and I have been confused all day as to what day of the week it was. I literally asked my sister this morning while I was eating breakfast, and I said, today is Tuesday, right? And I keep having to remind myself that it is Tuesday and not Wednesday, because I am extremely out of sorts this week. I was out of sorts last week. I've been out of sorts all this week, and 2 days in, it's just really not good. And as I was editing the video, the Wild for Planners Wild University review, I think will have just gone up before this one, I realized what was likely causing all of this mental fog and melees that I was feeling, especially during work hours. It's because one of my coworkers in my immediate section is retiring at the end of this week. Now, I've had coworkers in my section and actually my boss retire. My first coworker who retired, and actually my only other peer coworker from my section who was retired, she did so 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago now, and I had worked with her for two and a half years. We did not have the best relationship. I was able to work with her, and we were able to get along fine in a professional setting, but she was not somebody who I wanted to spend time with outside of work at all. But this particular coworker, oh, and I should probably mention my boss. My boss left relatively traumatically. He is fine. He is alive and well, but he left for medical reasons and never came back. So it was not a choice that he necessarily made. So, but that was also a relatively long, drawn out period from the time he effectively left the position and officially left the position. So that was easier to come to terms with, despite the initial trauma of his leaving, because it was, is he possibly going to come back? Is he going to recover from what made him leave in the first place? And we had time to come to an acceptance of him leaving and him and actually retiring. And also he was very seriously sick. And so we accepted that this was him continuing to work would not be the right thing necessarily for him or his family. So with my coworker who's retiring this week, she's been saying since the day I started, I'm retiring on this date, which is this coming week. So she's been planning for this. She's been hoping for it. And for as much as we kept hoping that she would decide to extend working, this pandemic has honestly just made her more settled in her decision to do so. And I totally respect that. I have no problems with her making this very conscious choice and making it at a time that allows her to enjoy not working, because hell, I'd look forward to retirement myself. But I greatly enjoy working with her. I truly love working with her. I love spending time with her outside of the office when we do so. She's somebody who I greatly respect, both professionally and as a person, and I'm truly going to miss working with her. And the realization I had is that I'm grieving, because for as much as we knew this was coming, and she's been talking about trying to get sorted for retirement for months. First off, we work for a huge bureaucracy, and she's finally having her official retirement meeting with the person in HR who does retirements. For as much as we have a huge bureaucracy, we only have one person doing retirements. What? So that's a thing. But because there is only one person doing retirements, and this person tries to meet with everybody who has plans on retiring, my coworker who started the process like last September, she's just now having her meeting and she's retiring this week. So, we were kind of hoping that the slow gears would mean she'd have to stay a little longer, but just because we all like working with her, we miss already she's got she's got a sense of humor that I vibe well with, and I enjoy hearing about her family. It's just, I'm going to miss being able to work with her. And I've had coworkers and bosses that I've missed working with before, but this particular coworker is probably the one that I've worked with the longest and have had to say this goodbye to. And here's the kicker. This is the kicker of my realization. Having the realization in the first place, and then also realizing why it's so bad, is this damn pandemic. Because it's grieving. It is grieving a loss. And yes, I can see my coworker again when it is safe to do so. She's not gone forever, but she's gone from my professional life forever. And I'm crying because I haven't had a chance to talk to my therapist about this yet. That's tomorrow. Oh, this is going to be first on the plate for tomorrow. I am not going to have the opportunity to work with her again, most likely. We keep joking, like, come back as a contractor, but that's not likely to happen because, as she said, she's like, oh, I've got stuff to keep me busy. I have no problems keeping busy. So similarly, to a degree, as those who have lost loved ones during this pandemic and have been denied the typical traditional rituals of grieving and saying goodbye, however their families do that particular process, we don't have the typical traditional ways of saying goodbye to a beloved coworker from our professional lives. And it's rough because you can see I'm tearing up and I'm working really hard to stop from breaking down because I want to get through this and go to bed. I just want to put it out there that I honestly didn't think of this as a possibility. It just never hit me as a possibility because yes, I've been seeing all of the people who are losing loved ones to death and not being able to grieve in a necessary way. And it just never hit me that that's a similar, this what I'm going through is a similar process. So because I hadn't thought about it before, I figure others out there have not also thought about it before. And so if you have been lucky enough to have been in a stable position through this, and I absolutely have been very lucky with having a very stable job, thankfully. But if you're finding that you are losing a beloved coworker to retirement and are unable to have spent any time with them in almost a year, and you're wondering why your brain is working slow and you can't find any enthusiasm for a job you typically enjoy doing, and tasks which even 3 months ago, 2 months ago, would have been relatively easy, consider that you might be grieving without even realizing it. So I'm gonna cut this off before I start crying on camera again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, it is Thursday evening and it is time for a midweek progress update on how I am doing with achieving my goals for the week. For the personal area of life, my goal was to read for 15 minutes at least 3 times this week. And as I said, because I am actually currently reading one specific book instead of flipping around between books, I have kind of altered that a little bit in order to read one chapter of the book, and I've already done that, so I'm very, very happy. And I'm still really interested in the book, and I am slowly getting back into reading for fun. I actually do have a reading assignment for a book that I need to read for work, and the stipulation for this group that I'm doing it as part of is that I have to do it outside of work hours, so we will see. But when I am reading for evaluation, I do it differently than when I'm reading for pleasure. So that's a whole different thing, and we will see how that plays out. I have about 6 weeks to read it and do the evaluation, so I will be doing that over the next month and a half. For the fun and recreation section of life, I wanted to spend at least one night not working and watch one episode of Ted Lasso, and I spent last night not working. So it's turning out that Wednesdays seem to be a good day for me to have that intentional space, partially because I have my therapy at 5 o'clock right after I get off of work, and so giving myself the space to process what has happened in therapy and everything, that's a good time to do it. So that's working out well. For the work and learning, I did mention that some of my intended goals between the time I wrote them and the time that I filmed that intro were going to have to be changed. So I totally scratched editing and uploading vlog number 8, and I also could not get the content planner in time to do that anytime soon. So that is supposed to be delivered to my apartment in DC tomorrow. It's on time there. I am firming up details to go back to DC to take care of things at my apartment with my family, and that is looking like it's going to be happening probably about 2 weeks from now. So I will be able to pick it up when I get back to DC. And so sometime after that, we'll see what I do with that. I wanted to work on developing a March content plan. I haven't done that yet. I was actually brought everything upstairs tonight to do that, and then I ended up doing something else, which was still good and one of my goals. So, and then I also wanted to do Duolingo every day, and I still haven't done it tonight, so I will do it tonight, and I will not forget this time like I did a couple weeks ago after remembering. For the family and relationships section, I wanted to text a group of friends about updates with what I was doing, as well as possibly setting up a virtual brunch date. And before I could do that, one of that group of friends reached out and said, "Hey, let's have brunch." So ticked me off, and through no significant effort on my own. So we are having brunch this Sunday virtually. I wanted to set a meeting up with another friend for next month, which I still haven't reached out yet, partially because I want to nail down when I'm going to be back in DC and figure that date out around the possible meetup with my friend, again, virtually. And the last thing I wanted to do was set up a meeting with another friend, and it's actually going to end up being a coaching session because she just recently finished coaching training. So this is part of the work that she needs to do to become fully certified. She is a certified coach through having finished the coaching course, but she still needs to do basically volunteer hours with somebody, and so I volunteered to be one of those people. And so that's set up for next week. For health and wellness, I wanted to go to my therapy, which I did. It was very, very good, very, very useful. And so I do have a couple of action items to take the next steps with that particular realization, and hopefully close it out to the degree that it can be closed out. And then want to drink a minimum of 60 ounces of water every day. I am doing that. I'm rocking it. It's going great. For the personal growth area of life, I want to develop an ideal goals schedule for the week. And this is not this week as much as just for any week. And I did do that. So I'm very, very happy. I might actually do a specific video about that and what my decision processes were with regards to it. If you would like to see that video, please let me know in the comments. For the financial area of life, my usual weeklies of limit spending to $150, reconcile spending log, and pay credit cards. The first one of that, we will see. Planner Kate had a flash sale yesterday for 40% off. So I stayed under $150 for that order. I don't think I am going to stay under $150 for the week, but I am not taking that as license for me to just go ahead and spend money because, oops, I broke the limit and therefore I have no control. I can do anything. I'm trying to break myself of that habit. So I made that decision. I'm going to deal with it and see what I need to do to adjust for that. And then the other thing that I did buy that was way over $150 was I did go ahead and buy the Apple Care Plus insurance package for my new phone because I figured it's worth it. It's 2 years and I can pay for it. So I just decided for that peace of mind, I may as well go ahead and do it. On top of that, the other two things that I wanted to work on doing were begin my tax prep and develop a moving budget. So I started my tax prep tonight. Well, I did the tax prep tonight, and I am now going to be working on actually filing my taxes. I am taking a half day off work tomorrow and with the intention to work on some moving related things as well as getting my taxes actually filed. The original intention was to do all the prep, which would be compiling all my various expenses and income from my writing and consulting and other business ventures that I spent money on last year, and I do keep records of all of that. So I spent tonight sitting on the couch watching the Free Britney documentary and doing that. So I thank my sister for turning on that documentary when my mom headed up to bed after we finished watching Life in Pieces. I was in the mood to do something, and I wanted to do something because as part of my ideal schedule, I have set aside 2 hours every weeknight except for Wednesdays to work on my goals. I wasn't in the mood to do strategic planning like I had originally intended to do. And I was hesitant with regards to my tax prep because all of my files are essentially housed on my computer in DC. And I wasn't sure if I would be able to access them and edit them and how I would be able to do that. Turns out that because I had just recently signed up for Office 365 with a code that I got with my desktop 5 years ago, almost, I was able to access those files and edit them through a web-based interface, which was great because I was on my dad's laptop. And I got all the stuff compiled into my spreadsheet so that I can look at my income and my expenses and the categories for all of that, and it'll be easy to transfer over into TurboTax, which is the service that I use, because despite having to file a Schedule C, it's a little extra money because of that, but it is still really easy for me to do at this point in time. Once the business grows and there's more money coming in and other things, I will very much absolutely hire an accountant and a CPA to do all of that, just because I don't want to screw things up. I can do it at this point. It's easy enough to do through TurboTax, so I will just go ahead and do it. And then once things become more complex, then I will go ahead and find somebody to handle that aspect for me, because it's well worth the money. It's like the 1 year that I did have relatively complex filing, it was absolutely worth the money to have somebody do that for me. And then finally, for the physical environment area of life, I want to get a quote from somebody for finding out what they do with regards to moving. So basically get more details as to what their process is and find out what that will roughly cost, because that will also inform my moving budget. And then I also want to work on tidying the basement, which I have done a little, but I need to do more. So that's where I'm at midweek with all of my goals. I've got probably half of them. Quick scan, there's about half of them that are either done or have been taken off my plate for various reasons. So I'm going good. I am looking forward to going ahead and getting this all edited with the new subscription web-based program that I'm currently using. But the other thing about getting started with my taxes is that I might be able to just go ahead and buy myself a MacBook. We will see. The initial estimate with just my day job W-2, I should just be able to afford what I want to get in a MacBook. And I am not going to order it at this point. I want to have the money in hand when I order it. And I also, right now I did the estimated delivery time frame, and it would be in the period that I will likely be in DC, and I do not want to have that A, sent to DC, and B, sent here when nobody would be home during the day, and it would just be delivered to the front door, because I don't want that stolen. So I will wait until later to A, confirm that I've got the money in hand, but also B, to have it delivered when it is pretty much guaranteed that there will be somebody at home to receive it when it is delivered. The reason why I am going ahead with buying a MacBook is, even though I'm likely going to be able to bring my desktop back here to Chicago, is because I am finding that it's really necessary to my mental health to get out of the basement during the workday, and I cannot take my work laptop out of the basement because my work laptop does not play nice with the Wi-Fi and our work VPN. So and in order to be on the internet on my work laptop, I have to be connected to the work VPN. So I can't just take off and be able to do stuff. What I can do off of the VPN, I need internet access to do. So last couple of days, I've been using my dad's laptop to do that, and it's been useful, but there is stuff I don't want to abuse using my dad's laptop and having stuff go accidentally wonky on it, because my father has absolutely no patience with technology whatsoever. And so if something gets screwy on it, he's not happy. And so I want to minimize the amount of me accidentally screwing something up on it. As it was, I had to spend part of today trying to figure out why his laptop, out of all of the devices in this house, will not connect to the new printer, and also why it will not install the drivers now. It was fun. There's a reason why even when I'm in DC, I am still first line of tech support for my family. Yeah, fun. So I am finding, even with being here and even with like potentially having my desktop here, because my desktop is a 27-inch Mac, I cannot just lift that sucker up and take it upstairs, and my parents are not going to want to have that living in one of the upstairs rooms. That's just not going to be a feasible thing. And honestly, the other thing would be that if it was in the one room, it would be visible from the street, which again, I don't, with an expensive device like that, I don't want it necessarily immediately visible for just anyone to see. In order to make my life easier with regards to doing things for work and maintaining a healthy mental health, as well as being able to do editing things for YouTube and other things, I will hopefully be getting a laptop in the next month, MacBook specifically. And since I am going to be going ahead and getting the MacBook, and my initial refund will allow for it, I'm going to go ahead and get Final Cut Pro installed on it. So I have been learning new interfaces and other editing programs for the last few months. So I know that it will be a learning curve, but it is a learning curve that I am expecting and am willing to go through, because I think from everything I've seen, that particular editing program is worth it. So I will go ahead and move forward with that, and I'm actually really happy and excited. So all right, I need to head to bed so I can get up in the morning and work my half day and then get on to making my goals happen. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Thought I'd do a quick goals update outside since it's relatively nice out, and you can hear the fountain in the background, the wind's blowing, so we've got the wind chimes going too. But I actually finished submitting my taxes this morning. I only worked a half day today, so I took a little time in the morning to get that finished and sorted out, and got it all submitted by 9:30 my time. And about an hour later, I got the notice that my federal return was accepted, and about half an hour ago, I got the notification that my state return was accepted. So I am all done with taxes. Yay! And I did confirm that my refund will be enough to cover the cost of a new MacBook. So once that refund is actually in my bank account, I will go ahead and buy myself a new MacBook, which, considering that I haven't had a new computer in 5 years, it's a reasonable expense at this point. So it's not necessarily going to be my primary computer, because the desktop's still working very, very well, but it is definitely going to be a primary-ish computer, especially while I'm here at my parents', and I'm glad to have something that's going to be full powered that can travel with me so I can stay on top of things. So that is it for the moment, because I'm going to have some lunch, and then I am going to get in contact with a few places I need to get in contact with about sorting out my apartment. So I will talk with you later. Hello, it is Saturday evening. I did not follow up again last night because I ended up having a bit of a headache and feeling really out of sorts. But the remainder of yesterday was a pretty okay day. I filed my taxes before signing in to work because I took a half day, so I was a little late signing in did my 4 hours of work, said goodbye to my one coworker who was retiring. Very sad. But then we had a little bit of family drama because my mom took a relative to get that relative's second shot, and said relative had a reaction to it. So she is okay, my relative, and but there was some other family drama attached to my relative being in the ER and the other significant people in her life not responding to calls. So yeah, that was fun. But as I said, my relative is doing okay, and she is fully vaccinated now, so we're very happy about that. My parents are due up for their second shots within the next 2 weeks, and also very happy about that. Today was an interesting day. We had my one brother and his family came over for a bit, and so I got to play with the puppy. Yay! I also spent a whole lot of day doing planning things. I fairly quickly knocked out the things that were on my intentions list for the week, but I was in a mood. I was in a mood to do planning, and it was a combination of doing planning for moving out of my apartment in DC. I don't know if I've explicitly said that before. I am not moving out of DC permanently. So since I've been approved to distance telework through to the end of May, it was decided that since I'm not using that apartment and have not been using that apartment, and I'm essentially paying $1,600 worth of storage fees, which is a lot. And since I was planning on moving this year anyway, that I would terminate my lease at the end of March and I would get a new apartment June 1st. So I am going back to DC with my mom and my sister, and we are going to spend about 5 days completely cleaning out the apartment. I have found a service that's part of what I was doing yesterday afternoon, and I booked them today. I'm really happy. They are a combination moving and storage facility, and I'll talk more about them in a future video because I am planning on doing a video on purging the apartment and getting it all clean. So it's going to be a lot. So that is coming towards the end of March, and I am looking forward to the change. I know it's going to be a lot of change, and I'm doing a lot of prep work for that. I think I've talked a little bit about that before in terms of what I plan on keeping, what I absolutely want to move into the new apartment, wherever that might be in DC, and what I want to get rid of absolutely. So it's partially for the effect of being organized as possible for this, since we only have a really short time in which to do this, but it's also trying to mentally prepare myself for this. I do not do well with moves. I'm hoping with this move, because it has to happen in such a short period of time, that I'm not going to have the buildup of, oh my God, that I usually do. So I do have the buildup time, but I'm hoping the fact that I'm not in my space during the entire time, we will see. But that it's all of this is kind of informing project I want to do later this summer when I'm back in DC and have a bit more private time. So I will talk more about that in the future video. So what I did today was, like I said, I booked the moving and storage service, so yay! And I also spent some time plotting out what broad categories of things to do for each of the days that we're going to be in DC, such as purging the apartment, packing up things, dealing with my storage unit, and other things. Related to this move situation, and it's kind of weird because I'm not moving straight from one apartment to the next. There is going to be a 2-month gap, but it's what it is. So it's kind of a unique situation, but I'm looking forward to it in that the storage fees are significantly less than I thought they were going to be. So that's going to allow me to save more money than I thought. And that's going to allow me to save more money for things like new furniture and purchasing things that I decide I actually do need, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm planning on getting rid of, and I will rebuy at the time that I need it. And I will see, because it's basically, do I really need this? And if I do, okay, it is what it is. And it's going to be a lot of like small, not really horribly expensive stuff that I know I use, like my Instant Pot and my Vitamix mixer. Those are getting put into storage because I know I use them. But other things like certain pots and pans, those are, I'll deal with those later. But yeah, it's getting me excited, and it also made me realize that I am not going to have time to edit vlogs and get them up in time for Saturday the 20th and Saturday the 27th. Partially because Saturday the 27th would just be a repeat. Like I said, I'm planning on doing a video about purging my apartment and that whole process. And since that's basically what I'd be doing for a week, I didn't want to do a whole vlog about it. I want to have its own little video. Anyway, I am doing other videos for the 20th and the 21st. Right now, the plan is to do the truthful YouTubers thing that's going around, that I've seen Julie Plans do, that I've seen Cindy Guntert-Baldo do, that I've seen Jen Chapin do. I am a new and small YouTuber, so there are some things that are not going to necessarily apply to me in the YouTuber world, but I do have a fairly long history of being on social media and other things related to the truthful YouTuber questions. So I will have that video coming up, like I said, for the 20th and for the 27th, since I have had so many missing vlogs between the issues with the February vlogs and then now missing these two. What I'm going to do, I'm continuing to memory plan for all of those weeks. So I will do a memory plan flip through of the ones that are not covered in the vlogs that you have already seen. So I hope you are looking forward to that. And the thing that I am looking forward to in the coming weeks is the fact that I did get enough in my tax return. I had a feeling that it would probably be the case that I would have at least a significant amount to contribute to this purchase, but it turns out that my tax return will actually cover the entire cost. So yay, I'm getting a new MacBook. I am really looking forward to it. I ordered it last night, so it should hopefully get here right before we head back to DC. I am not going to bring it with me to DC just because I want to take as little out with me as possible to have enough room to bring back what I need to. So that would be my desktop, because I do not want that in storage, and any clothes that I may need for spring and early summer here in Chicago. So I'm not planning on bringing back a whole lot, but I do want the space needed for those items, because as far as I know, we're going to be going out in my mom's Outback, and so it's not a huge car, but I just want to, like I said, have as much space available as possible for the things that I do need to bring back. One more thing that I want to mention about what I did today was develop a content plan template for myself for Instagram. I am not planning on necessarily posting every day, but this template covers every single day of the month and is a generic month. There are no dates attached. It's basically the first week of the month, second week of the month, third week of the month, fourth week of the month. And it's basically, I kind of took the idea of monthly meal planning where you have themes for every day of the week. And then what I did within that is I have mixed in the types of posts that you can do on Instagram. So like stories, I do every Sunday, except for the last 2 weeks, but I'm going to get back into that tomorrow, which anyway, look on Sundays for my stories where I do sharing Sunday. And so those are posts that I've saved up from friends through the course of the week. One of the reasons why I do that is to help boost engagement on their posts and help them get more reach. It helps them. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. So that's the theme for Sunday. Like I said, sharing Sunday. On Monday, it's going to be Monday motivation. So I'm going to find like quotes and other things that will hopefully be motivational. On Tuesday is going to be Tuesday tips. Wednesday is, of course, Washi Wednesday. Thursday is Theme Thursday. I have a thing for alliteration, but I was kind of like, what goes with Thursday? I'm like, I was kind of feeling a little foggy at that point from all of the other things I had been doing. And then I just caught sight of the word theme. I'm like, oh, I know what I can do. I'm going to have basically a monthly theme to kind of help guide me when I am feeling a little stuck. So Thursdays, I'm going to work to tie back to that theme and go from there. Fridays are going to be funny Fridays, and Saturdays are self-care Saturdays. In addition to stories, I'm going to have posts, and I'm going to try to do reels. I have never done any of this. I have not done TikTok. I have watched reels, but I have not done anything with it. I'm always like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to try this. So I decided, you know what, to mix things up a bit. I'm going to try to do reels. So I'm going to slowly learn how to do them. I hope that you let me know if you see them, if you like them. And I'm going to try to do about one a week. And so in addition to the stories, regular posts, and the reels, I'm also going to try to go live, I believe, twice a month. Sounds about right. So keep an eye out for that if you're on Instagram, and you can follow me there as @CraftingRubyDreams. And yeah, kind of full day for me today. I even got started on my memory plan, which I usually only work on Sundays, but I was again just on a roll and not really quite wanting to go to bed, and I was getting my second wind at 10 o'clock, as I do almost every night. So just ran with it. I really did. And we'll see how tomorrow goes. I have brunch with friends, and I will be working on the memory plan and anything else that I need to do to wrap up this week. And so you will see me tomorrow. Hello, this is coming to you from Thursday afternoon on my lunch break. Very different way to close out my usual weekly vlogs. That is because the final clip I filmed is just not uploading to the editing service. So dealing with that by doing this new ending where I'm going to keep things very, very short and give you an update as to the schedule for the rest of March, because it's getting changed up a bit. So I'm not going to be doing the weekly vlogs for the rest of this month. It is surely because of timing with the move and the time I have available to work on doing the vlogs. So those will hopefully be coming back in April, but I hope you enjoy what I'm going to be putting up for the rest of this month. So for the next few videos, we're going to have an unboxing of the February box from Simply Gilded, Paris in Spring. It is gorgeous. It is lovely. I think you will really, really appreciate this. And I will be showing the mystery item because it's just, I can't not do that. So, and then also Notique. I did get some things from Notique and their spring release, and I'm so, so happy. So I will be showing you everything I got from them, as well as an unboxing from Planner Kate. So that is going to be all one video, and if I get any more deliveries between now and then, probably not. The one other planner related item that I've ordered still hasn't shipped yet, so I'm betting it's not going to get here in time, which is fine. It will pop up later in other videos. And then I'm going to do a what's in my bag, and that is my planner bag that I haul up from the basement where I keep all of my things and up into our dining room, which is where I usually do my memory planning. So I'll show you everything that I keep in there. And as I've said, I think in earlier in this video, I'm going to do the Truthful YouTuber video. That's going to be roughly Saturday the 20th. And then on hopefully Tuesday the 23rd, we'll see how quickly I can turn around that particular video. So it might actually end up posting later in the day on Tuesday. We'll see. Is going to be basically a vlog of the purge and cleaning of the apartment. So I did this morning actually book cleaners to do the deep clean, move out clean, and I'm very, very proud of myself for doing that, just because I think it will be absolutely worth the money and the stress and not having to do it myself, because it's just something I in no way enjoy doing. And for the level of clean needed for moving out of an apartment, I think it's going to be good. And then on Saturday the 27th, I'm going to do a recap of all of the memory plans. I started having issues with the process of editing, and then I will also be doing a quarterly favorites video on the last Tuesday of the month, and I truly hope you enjoy them. If there are any other types of videos that you would like to see me do, please drop that in the comments. I am looking forward to the changes that March is bringing. My MacBook has shipped, so I should hopefully have it here on Monday, and I can start editing, doing some other things with that. I'm moving out of the apartment, and it's just going to be a change-filled month, and we'll see how I'm doing at the end of the month. But I thank you for being here. And from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate you inviting me into your time and space. And if you found anything in this video useful, please hit that like button so that YouTube knows to recommend this to others. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified about all of these wonderful future videos coming your way. Thank you so much, and may all your dreams be ruby dreams. Bye-bye.